This yard is a perfect example of how to design a yard that truly stands the test of time. Great exterior design is timeless. And what I mean by that is that 5, 10, 20 years on, your yard should still be objectively beautiful in a space that you want to spend time in. And that's possible when you work with an expert team that understands the architecture of your home, your geographic location, how to incorporate the right materials and make sure that everything flows perfectly together. And that's how you end up with a yard that stands the test of time instead of one that looks dated and worn within a couple years. This yard was built over 5 years ago, and it looks like they could have finished construction yesterday. So let me show you some of the design choices that impact whether your yard will also stand the test of time. So the first and most important thing to do is make design choices that are truly timeless. Now, how do you know if the choices that you are making are going to stand the test of time? Well, that's something that working with the right design team can help you understand. In the world of design, so many elements that appear timeless are actually part of a larger trend that you only recognize once that moment has passed. For any of you that understand the concept of millennial gray, which was a period of time when everything was gray tone, at the time it felt pretty timeless, but as we look on it now, we understand that was a very specific design trend that had its moment in time, and now looking back, it does appear quite dated. So it's very important that you have a design team that understands what design elements are of the moment and what ones are outside of the bounds of time. As we look at all the elements in this beautiful yard in front of us, there's not a single element that I would describe as trendy. Now, does trendy mean that everything has to be overwhelmingly neutral? Absolutely not. As you can see, we have these very unique artistic turf cutouts. This is obviously a very specific look, specifically designed for this space, but once again, not tied to any trend. And while I would definitely describe this yard style as modern, there's no single element that ties it to a specific point in time. And a second thing to consider is understanding how materials also relate to this. So in this specific material palette, we obviously have the colors black, white, cream, and then of course the green of the nature, and then the more beige tones of the home itself. Now, I love choosing specific materials to speak to our client, and I also do love color. And it's also understanding how these elements work together, but making choices based on what truly speaks to you as a client and not a trend that may be passing and may look dated very soon. Another very important thing to keep in mind about choosing materials is understanding which materials have durability. Now, when it comes to durability, we're talking about weather resistance, UV resistance, and just overall wear and tear resistance. And that's why we personally love to use porcelain tile on all of our flooring. It just stands up so much better than natural stone. Obviously, natural stone has a really beautiful patina, but when it comes to thinking about longevity, porcelain always wins hands down. Another element that's very important when we're considering timelessness is thinking into the future of how you want to use a space. A lot of clients come to us and say, hey, our kids are very young, or we have infants, but this is our forever home. So we need to take that into consideration when we're designing. We want to make sure, are we designing the space for right now where you are as a family, or do we want to keep in mind how the space will be used as your children get older, or even if you have young children and as the years pass they'll become teenagers, or maybe children will eventually leave the house. We want to keep all these things into consideration, really thinking about how will this space be used, not only today, but 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. But I do have one tip if you really want to incorporate some trendy elements into your space, and that's to use that through furniture. Furniture generally has a shorter lifespan in general, especially outdoor furniture is not going to last as long as the pool itself, obviously, or the flooring, but it's something that over 5 to 10 years you would almost expect to change. So understand that you can definitely use more trendy pieces through your furniture selection. If you have any questions about this design or any questions about how to create a timeless space for yourself, leave a comment below and we'll get back to you. Redoing your yard is an investment, but when you work with landscape experts like the team at Foxterra Design, you know your yard is going to stand the test of time. And that investment means years and years of space that you and your family will absolutely love spending time in. So click the link in the description box below to book a call to get started on a consultation for your yard today. Thanks so much for watching this video, and make sure to check out this video right here that YouTube is recommending just for you.